One of the promises of the new Ford PC government was that Ontario's controversial sex ed curriculum would be revised. Cue the predictable outrage from the usual suspects. The Ford government, as it pledged almost daily on the campaign trail, will begin consultations this fall regarding a revised sex ed curriculum. For many parents, this came as welcome news, given that there was virtually no consultation with parents when the Wynne Liberals pushed ahead full speed with their sex ed curriculum, something that's been labeled as a tad too radical in certain circles. Indeed, many have complained for years that some of the materials in the new sex ed curriculum, ranging from masturbation to anal sex, just aren't age appropriate. Perhaps one of the most contentious issues under the current sex ed curriculum, which has been in place since 2015, is that gender is presented as a changeable social construct. This part of the curriculum is actually taught in grade 3 when children are just 8 years old. As well, the Campaign Life Coalition notes the current Liberal sex ed curriculum teaches the disputed theory of gender identity as if it were indeed fact. This is the notion that whether you're a boy or a girl does not necessarily relate to your physical anatomy. It is merely a so-called social construct, and that gender is fluid, meaning that a young boy can decide that he's actually a girl if that's the way he feels in his mind, or vice versa. Of note, gender identity confusion is still recognized by the American Psychiatric Association as a gender dysphoria disorder. But hey, what do they know, I guess? Yet, even though no specific changes have been released by the Ford PCs, some who favor the current sex ed brought in by the Wynne Liberals are in a tizzy. This would include the Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario, which never misses an opportunity to congregate on the lawns of Queen's Park to whine about something, typically wages and benefits and retirement packages. By the way, if the Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario and gender bending ring a bell, it might be due to this union being a subject on the Tucker Carlson show on Fox News last December. That's when it was revealed that the ETFO had expanded LGBT to read, wait for it now, LGGBDTTTIQQAAPP. This lovin' spoonful of alphagetia stands for lesbian, gay, genderqueer, bisexual, demisexual, transgender, transsexual, two-spirit, intersex, queer, questioning, asexual, allies, pansexual, and polyamorous. Pay attention, kids. I'm sure there'll be a test to follow. And so it is that months later, promoting a 15-letter identifier for what was simply once known as the LGBT community is still a hot-button issue with the Elementary Teachers Union. Say, guys, whatever happened to teaching the 3 R's? Oh, and get this, at the Queen's Park protests, ETFO President Sam Hammond said the union will vigorously defend any teacher who sticks to the current curriculum. In other words, he's advocating that teachers break the law when it comes to the sex ed curriculum. Isn't that an endearing lesson for the kids? Wonder if they're going to make an ABC after-school special about this utter disdain for the democratic process. And you know, I'm also quite curious why this gender business is such a hot button for the teachers in the first place. Why aren't these teachers incensed by, I don't know, the way math scores in Ontario continue to plummet? In a report released in April, it was revealed that students in every province except Ontario improved their performance in math between 2010 and 2016. Gee, I guess it's no biggie if little Johnny and little Janie can't master basic multiplication, but as long as they feel comfortable embracing their current identity as an asexual, non-binary spirit unicorn, then hey, carry on, kids. And check this out. The Toronto Star reports that at least 6 Ontario families are launching a human rights case against the government. They believe the Ford PCs are going to re-implement an outdated sex ed curriculum. this will harm their children and will result in a negative impact on the LGBTQ, etc. youth. So it is they shall be collectively hopping over to that kangaroo court known as the Ontario Human Rights Tribunal to argue that their rights have been stomped on because of upcoming changes to the curriculum, even though, as mentioned previously, these changes have yet to be announced. But really, what are they hoping to accomplish other than some sort of moral victory, given that the Ontario Human Rights Tribunal will be powerless to force the provincial government to reverse course on policy? Or maybe this is simply a cash grab on the behalf of the litigating parents. After all, this non-elected, unaccountable tribunal loves cutting taxpayer-funded checks to those who experience hurt feelings. But at the end of the day, shouldn't these people at least wait and see what the new sex ed curriculum will look like once it's revamped? Because as far as I can tell, protesting something that doesn't actually exist is kind of like complaining about a movie that is yet to be released. For the Rebel.media, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, the Rebel has a new app. Please download that app and take the Rebel with you wherever you go.